I'm Kristen Maynard. I'm an investigator at the Lieber Institute for Brain Development, and I lead the Molecular Neuroanatomy group. My team is studying links between gene expression, brain structure, and brain function in the context of several different psychiatric diseases. So in particular, we study postmortem human brain tissue to better understand the molecular identity of brain regions that are important for reward processing, which is a function that's often disrupted in psychiatric disorders such as depression and addiction. And we're really interested in identifying cell types and circuits that are kind of vulnerable for genetic risk for psychiatric disorders, with the goal ultimately of identifying new therapeutic targets for prevention and treatment. The Lieber Institute is kind of, one of the sort of best places in the scientific community to directly study postmortem human brain tissue. It's a very valuable, precious resource. And so, being able to do that kind of research here is very special. And why study this? I think that it's becoming more and more appreciated that psychiatric disorders, are, partially heritable, meaning there is some genetic component to these disorders. So we really want to understand, what are these genes that are associated with risk for illness, and how can we localize them to specific cell types and circuits to try and, leverage, coming up with new treatments. I was really inspired to pursue neuroscience, actually, by my high school biology teacher, Mrs. Rinaldini, who had a passion for neuroscience. She actually worked with the school to start a neuroscience class when I was a senior in high school, and I was one of her very first neuroscience students. I actually still keep in touch with her, like tearing up, because she'd be so happy to see this. In that class, we learned a lot about, sensory systems, how we feel, see, hear, also how memories are formed, why we dream. And from that moment on, I was just really interested to understand links between, the brain, the mind, and behavior, and how they're disrupted in psychiatric disease. Early in my career, I was very interested in brain development. So that's what I studied as a graduate student. I was interested to learn how the brain wires up, and I wanted to specifically come to the Lieber Institute to learn sort of neurodevelopmental origins of psychiatric disease. And this is sort of a fun thing for me now, being a mom of two young kids. So my youngest daughter is 10 months old, and so I get to see brain development in action every day, which is sort of a fun thing as a neuroscientist and a mom.